Let's give a warm Hannity audience welcome. Former VP Mike Pence. Wow. Vice President, good to see you.
Thank you, Sean.
For the record, when I came out, I did not get a standing ovation.
Yes, you did.
I did. I actually did not, but what a great crowd, right? They're fun people. Thank you for being here. Let me ask you this question first, because it's news of the day.
Yeah.
And this has to do with Alvin Bragg and the New York DA and what they're trying to do to President Trump. And you called it, quote, it feels like a politically motivated or politically charged prosecution here. What did you mean by that?
Well, look, I think what we're witnessing is what I call the criminalization of politics. I mean, the truth is, let me stipulate, no one's above the law, but no one is below the law. And the American people are tired of a two-tiered justice system in this country. I believe it. I mean, we saw the politicization of the Justice Department during the Trump-Pence years. We saw FBI agents falsifying documents to pursue the Russia hoax. Then we saw the whole Zelensky phone call business, and it just hasn't stopped. And here you have, here in New York City, this Manhattan DA who literally campaigned on going after one American. You have an attorney general in this state that campaigned for going after one American. And let me say, I know nothing about the allegations. I'm not here to defend them, and I know that President Trump can defend himself. But the American people are tired of politics playing a role in justice, and I think tens of millions of Americans look at what's happening in the Manhattan DA's office and say, enough is enough. We've got to end this political prosecution of the president and end the politics that's playing a role in our justice system around the country.
Jim Jordan is investigating whether or not the FBI is politicized and the DOJ is weaponized. Right. I wonder, and I do not believe at this point in history that we have equal justice under the law or equal application of our laws. It breaks my heart to say that, but if we don't fix it, that takes away the heart of our Constitution, doesn't it?
Well, there's a reason why that statue outside virtually every courthouse in the country, Lady Justice is blind. And the truth is, we all deserve equal treatment in the law. And it's one of the reasons I spoke out on this over the weekend when I first heard rumors of it. I am hopeful that as the American people have learned more about this, I'm hopeful that the Manhattan DA thinks better of it. I mean, because the reality is...
he had a very, very bad week, thankfully, and I think he's rethinking the whole thing.
Well,
he has to be.
You've brought an awful lot to light on that, and I know everybody appreciates the job that you've done bringing the facts to the American people. But I just want to say this is bigger than any one person, right? And I think the American people understand that in this instance, we simply have we've got to stand on the principle that the law needs to be equally applied.
Do you agree with
every
me
person
about we don't have equal justice under the law? For example, nobody was held accountable for lying on a FISA application. Right. At the top of a FISA application, it says verified. They used a dirty Russian dossier paid for by Hillary Clinton, and it's unverifiable. It was all false. Yeah. Or the fact that the FBI was working with big tech in 2020, and they were meeting with them once a week, and they were saying you might be a victim of disinformation, and it might be about Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. Yeah. So the New York Post breaks that story about a very real laptop, and they didn't report it, and they wouldn't even let people post on it.
Well, I think the suppression of the story about Hunter Biden's laptop by virtually every artery of the national media was a disgrace, and I've said so. Yeah. But let me say, this is bigger than just this instance, that I honestly believe, whether it's the FBI going after a pro-life father, or the FBI, a memorandum that targets people going to school board meetings to stand up for their kids' interests in their schools. I mean, we just got to make sure. We just got to make sure that we've taken the politics out of our justice system at every level. And let me also say, the American people are, they're tired of a two-tiered system of justice, but they're also tired of the drama. You know, the Justice Department ought to be, and local prosecutors ought to be focused on putting bad guys in jail in this city that is fraught with a crime rate. But the flip side of it is, as I travel all over the country, Sean, I have to tell you, this is not the stuff the American people are talking about. I mean, there are families that are hurting out there. I mean, I met a mother at a gas station not long ago who told me that she has to go to a food bank twice a week because gasoline prices and grocery prices have dug into their family budget.
Heating and air conditioning prices.
I'm telling you, you know, whether it's gasoline prices, the crisis at our border, whether it's inflation at a 40-year high, literally, Joe Biden has weakened this country at home and abroad, and we've got to have change. And we've got to focus on those issues that matter most to the American people. And that's where I'll focus.
60% of the American people are living paycheck to paycheck. Many people are tapping into their pensions at a big loss to do so. Some people are putting bare necessities on a credit card. This is happening in America right now because of these horrible economic and energy policies. But people criticize you because you say, I'm proud of the 4-year record that I had with Donald Trump.
I'm incredibly proud of the record of the Trump-Pence administration. We left America stronger and more prosperous than ever before. And this administration has systematically dismantled the progress that we have made at home and abroad. But I have to tell you that as I said, most of the national media is obsessed with this story. Most of the national media is obsessed with my old running mate. But as I travel around the country, the American people are deeply concerned about what's happening in this economy. They're deeply concerned about their family budgets. They're deeply concerned about whether their children or grandchildren are going to grow up in America with as many opportunities as you and I had. And I really do believe that it's incumbent on us to stand firm, to speak plainly, let our yes be yes and our no be no when it comes to the equal treatment of the law. But I also believe that to win back America, in the months and years ahead, we've got to focus on what the American people are focused on, and that is securing this country at home and abroad and bringing back this economy for working families all across America.
Let me ask you this. I don't think you guys got enough credit for taking out Soleimani. I don't think you got enough credit. During the Trump-Pence years, there was a coalition put together. The U.S., Israel, the Saudis,
historic,
Egypt, Jordan, and the Emirates against Iranian hegemony and fighting against a nuclear-armed Iran. Okay, now we have China, I call it a new axis of evil, with Russia, including Iran, that is, according to reports, close to a nuclear weapon, and North Korea, a new alliance created, and they want a new world order. Now, Joe Biden lets a balloon fly all over the country and spy on us, up and away in our beautiful balloon. But in all seriousness, and then Russia takes out one of our drones. There has been no consequence or response. Right. Nothing.
Right. Well, let me just say, with regard to America's place in the world today, that there's a truism in history that weakness arouses evil. And that disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan, the capitulation, literally begging for the better part of 2 years for Iran to re-enter the Iran nuclear deal, the capitulating on Nord Stream 2 to Russia without securing any
while killing off Keystone.
Shutting down energy in this country. I believe that has sent a message of weakness around the world. It has emboldened the enemies of freedom. The answer is we have to produce American strength, and that begins with renewed leadership.
All right. I saved your favorite question for last.
Yeah.
A lot of speculation you're going to run for president in 2024. Where are you in that process?
Well, Karen and I have been taking the matter to prayer. We're a family that believes in prayer.
I know you do.
And we've been traveling around the country, listening very carefully.
By the way, these are the few New Yorkers that are normal that you can mention God, it's okay. By the way, if in New York you mention God in a public school, you get arrested, but that's another story. Go ahead.
But I would tell you we're getting closer to a decision.
Okay.
We've gotten a lot of encouragement around the country. And, you know, our thought on this has less to do with us, less to do with my son who's a Marine Corps captain, my son-in-law is a Navy captain. It has more to do with the fact I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
So do I.
And I know what the media is obsessed about on any given day. But the truth of the matter is we have to produce leadership in this country that will take our country back to the policies that left us stronger and more prosperous in the Trump-Pence years. And if we can play a part in that, we
Ladies
will.
and gentlemen, Mike Pence. Thank you. Great to see you. Appreciate it. Straight ahead, Biden's weakness.